So earlier in the show, we updated you on the tragic story of a 3-year-old who died after being left in a car by his caregiver yesterday. A small vigil continues to grow at the rear of the apartment building where the young boy was found inside the car. Today, we're learning more about his caregiver, 50-year-old Jelena Kosovac, a mother of 2 who has been charged with criminal negligence causing death. She appeared in court today. And joining me now is Oren Amate, a psychologist. And Oren, when I tweeted out this breaking story, when we had just learned about the tragedy, tweeted out the breaking story, I don't think I was prepared for the visceral response that it received. I want to show you a few of the tweets that I got here. So let's look at them. They use very foul language. So this one's saying, "What in the F is wrong with the parent?" Now, this is before we actually knew who was involved in the story. "Lock them in a car with the windows up." Here's another one. "Effing a-hole. What in the holy F is wrong with people?" Another one. "The actual F is wrong with people." Lots of question marks there. And another one. "Nothing compared to the fiery hell the parents will have to live in for eternity." Now, again, this is before we knew that who the suspect was, who was in police custody. We've now know it's the caregiver, not the parent. But this was in the immediate aftermath of the breaking news, and such a response, such anger toward the person who is allegedly responsible. Why? Why is that?
Well, it's understandable because as humans, we have this inherent need to feel that the world is just, it's fair. So when something terrible happens to the most vulnerable around us, it strikes at the core because, we want to believe that we can protect them. And when it's a tragedy like, cancer or something like that, that's one thing. But when it's entirely unavoidable, it takes people's anger toward the person who did it to the child to a different level.
So many emotions, obviously, by the public, because, like you said, this is just a 3-year-old little boy. How do we deal with these emotions? I mean, as a parent, I know I'm very devastated by it. I look at my own children. How do we deal with that as a parent, as a non-parent?
Yeah, as a parent especially, you take these tragedies as a moment to be grateful for what you do have, okay? Embrace your child, look at them, and even if you're angry at your kid, this is the time to recognize just how precious life is. It sounds like a cliche, but that's an important way to do it, because the flip side of that would be then to kind of ruminate over what happened to the child, imagining how terrible it must have been for that child, and to put yourself in that position as a 3-year-old, not knowing what's going on, suffocating and so on.
And you can't let your mind go there.
That's the thing. You have to put the walls up. You have to compartmentalize. So just to forget about it is hard. So you try to redirect your energies again to a positive. Be grateful. And if you don't have children yourself, be grateful. Your cousins or whoever else. Because then the other emotion, if you don't do that, is what we're seeing, which is this anger. People want to just channel this energy because again, if you don't go anger, you end up going this, this sadness, this awful, almost by proxy, almost trauma. Imagining what it must be like for that child. So that's why people find it so easy to go into the anger side, because the alternative isn't very healthy for them.
How important is it to talk about this and to, it is a beautiful weekend coming up. This will be the topic of conversations at dinner tables, at barbecues. Is that healthy?
It depends on what form it takes. For people who gossip or they start wanting to just trash the caregiver or the parents or whatever else, people get a temporary sense of relief because, again, you're doing something with this energy. You don't feel impotent. You don't feel there's nothing you can do. I mean, there's nothing you're really doing. You're just talking about it, but it gives people this illusion that they're doing something by condemning this person. So, I don't think that's necessarily healthy, but if you talk in a kind of in a connecting way, you kind of empathize with each other. You kind of just contain it between each other, then that can be healthy because you're sort of being there for each other, you're supporting each other, and that is a positive way to do it.
All right, Oren, thank you for coming in and sharing your thoughts. Thank you.